What's up, guys? This is C Reviews. Today I'm going to be doing my top 10 Jim Carrey movies. So I'm going to break it down for you and give it out of 10. So number 10 is Liar Liar, and that's a 7 out of 10. I loved that movie when I was a kid. So basically, Jim Carrey's a slick lawyer. He's divorced his wife, and he has a 6-year-old kid named Max, and he always lies to him. And he doesn't make Max's birthday on the day, like the first day that we're watching. You watch a movie. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, guys. So anyways, he wishes that his dad would never be able to tell a lie anymore, and so that's what he wished for his birthday, and he didn't tell anyone. And then I think it's like for 24 hours, I think, maybe. So anyways, happens, and Jim Carrey ends up so while that's happening, he's sleeping with his boss. That's why he didn't show up to his kid's birthday party. And then they have their cigarette and they're having sex, and she's like, is that the best you've ever had? And he's like, I've had better. He just says it all relaxed, and she just flips out and kicks him out, even he doesn't get it. And then he slowly realizes, probably halfway through the movie, that he can't stop telling the truth. So he's in court, and he's trying to lie for this lady to get money for the kids and out of the husband, and he ends up just telling the truth, and he can't it's fucking hilarious. He ends up telling the police officer that he did what did he do? He sped some more. He followed too close. What else did he do? He went through a red light, changed lanes in an intersection, changed lanes again without signaling, and going through a red light while speeding. He says it way better. And another one is funny when one of his clients calls them his office, and she's like, "Sir, he's in another court problem. He broke another law, blah blah," and he just literally goes on the phone, "Stop breaking the law, asshole!" Oh, it's fucking awesome. It's a funny movie just because you get to see just Jim Carrey losing his shit because he's just literally can't help himself. I don't know. It's funny because he's just fuck. It's a great concept. And then he ends up having to talk to his kid about it. And one scene, it's talking about ugly people and beautiful people. I think and he's like, "My teacher says only beauty's in the inside." He's just "That's something ugly people tell you." And so we're gonna end that off 7 out of 10. Liar Liar. It's pretty fucking awesome. I can't even remember who else is in it. But yeah, Jim Carrey's in it, and it's fucking great. Number 9 is Lemony Snicket's. Wow, I don't even know if Lemony Snicket. Series of Unfortunate Events. And that movie, he pretty much is Count Olaf. He's the villain. He first has the children as his to he adopted them, so they're his pretty much. Kids find out that he's using them for the money. If you don't know what Lemony Snicket is, you read a book. They made the full fucking 10 series, and then they adapted it to a movie back in 2000 and. Oh, I might butcher 2007. I didn't write it down, but we'll see if you guys look it up afterwards. 2007, 2009 maybe. And then just a couple years ago, they just rebooted it as a whole Netflix series too. But the movie is fucking awesome. Jim Carrey's the best part of the movie. He's a great Count Olaf. He's just so mischievous and fucking creepy. I find Jim Carrey very creepy villain sometimes when he doesn't want to be. I don't know, but he's was creepy as fuck in this when I was watching it and stuff. So hard 7.5 out of 10. I highly recommend watching it. I'm trying to think if there's any funny things. He's like, "Oh, why did I eat and then go in the water?" I don't even know if there's probably way better lines in that one with him. I just can't even remember that movie anymore. So number 8 is Cable Guy. Not Larry the Cable Guy, just Cable Guy. So that was with him and Matthew Broderick, and Jack Black's in it too. Who else is in it? Ben Stiller plays as twins in this it's this big murder scene case. Every time someone's watching the scene, it's this big murder case that this twin brother Ben Stiller kill his brother. So it's pretty much that's what what the TV's always on pretty much, and that's what a big thing at the end, I guess. But anyways, Jim Carrey plays this Cable Guy who Matthew Broderick is pretty much the main character in this, let's say, and Jim Carrey's should say antagonist. Yeah, pretty much. So he finds out that like him and his girlfriend broke up Robin, so he's living in an apartment. He gets all the stuff moved out, and he's trying to set up his cable. And he finds out that his buddy said if you give the cable guy $20, he'll give you like tons of free like TV shows and shit and movie channels and sports channels for free, I guess. So that's what he tells, and the cable guy that happens to be the guy setting his shit up is Jim Carrey. And like, just, I don't know, he just like, he's not down for it kind of deal, but he sets him up, and it ends up being like this really creepy, weird friendship. Jim Carrey tries to like befriend Matthew Project, and like, I forget what he calls him. He calls him like, thanks friend or some shit, like when he helps him set up his cable or something like that. And then it just comes like, he becomes like this creepy stalker kind of deal where he's like fucks with the cable while Robin's there with him. So then he has to go over and call him to help him. But like, I'm pretty sure Jim Carrey and him go on like a fucking like medieval times date and shit like that, like for his friends. I don't know. It's fucking hilarious though. There's a lot of good parts. Like when he's fucking like when they're fighting in the medieval times, and he's like, oh no man, buddy's pretty serious, yo. And he's just like, it's armor up, and he's just like fucking going buck wild. And then I can't even remember what he calls himself in the movie, but like he calls him lazy lies. And then they're playing another great scene in that cable guy is they're playing basketball, Matthew Project and like Jack Black and like their friends, and all of a sudden like cable guy shows up and like their teammate gets injured. So he's like, hey, how'd you guys in the tent? He's just fucking with big mouth guard in his mouth, tight like booty shorts and shit, long socks. He's like, come to the train all the time. And then he's like, wait a second, I don't want to pull anything. And he's got a lisp too. That's the best part about the character. Steven, I don't like his tone. It's fucking great. It's like a good lisp. It's fucking awesome though. So like the basketball scene anyways, he's like doing these he's like, I don't want to pull him. So he goes like to the foul line, goes boop 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 boop, and just like a bunch of times, like all fucking like weird. It's fucking hilarious. And then I like that's all I'm gonna spoil for you pretty much, because like it's fucking funny. It's creepy too. Like it's one of Jim Carrey's like, would it be his first big break movies? I can't remember. I don't even remember if it was. I don't think so, but I can't remember if it was before Ace Ventura or after Ventura. I can't remember, guys. But anyways, I gave that a 7.5 out of 10. It was fucking great. I loved it. It's creepy. I showed my girlfriend, I think, last year, and it's just like brings me back to how fucking the good times. And I just kept watching all Jim Carrey's movies. I fucking love Jim Carrey. So number 7 now is Bruce Almighty. I got the power. So Jim Carrey plays Bruce, who's a news reporter, and like the first time he's just kind of down on his luck. He doesn't get the big anchor job he wanted. He gets Steve Carell ends up getting it, and that's pretty funny. Later on I'll talk about that. He keeps getting like these weird like assignments. Like he got the cookie assignment, where it's literally like this big like cookie that he had to like interview these people that make the biggest cookie, and then he's just like, and that's the way the cookie crumbles, and fucking it's so funny. And like that's just like a big funny scene at the start. It's just like a big montage, and then when he finds out he didn't get the anchor scene because he thought he was when he was at the waterfall, he's literally just like all pissed off, and he's like, back to you, fuckers, and just fucking gets fired. But anyways, so he finds out that his life's like just run amok and shit like that. Like it's just been going downhill, and he's just like hates on God because his girlfriend's Jennifer Aniston, and that's what a lucky guy. So, and he finds out that he gets fired from his job and ends up like helping this homeless guy who's getting beat up, kind of. Then he gets beat up, and he gets in an accident. Yeah, he gets in an accident. And then, like, I'm pretty sure that's, like, the coma thing that he gets put in. But anyways, he ends up going to, like, meeting, what the fuck's his name? Lucius Fox. Wow. Morgan Freeman. So Morgan Freeman's God in this. He ends up finding out that God's going to take a break. And he bestows Jim Carrey with the power of God. And, like, when he does that, they're, like, walking on water. So it's pretty funny. So, it ends up, like, just giving like Jim Carrey, Power of God. So it's kind of funny in a way, but it's like crazy because then he learns that he can do whatever he wants, but then he learns that he has to answer to all these people, all these prayers, and he kind of at first like ignores them and does this like lame online system where he has everything emailed, and he just says like accept all, yes to all, and it's like people praying, I wish I could win the lotto, and then he's just like letting people, everyone's winning the lotto, so literally you win the lottery and you're winning like $20 because everyone's wishing to win that, or like all this crazy stuff's happening, and it's like just becoming this chaotic thing. But he's like ends up becoming like the best anchor man at this time, so it's a good watch. It's funny because he's just learning his ups and downs. He's a dick to Jennifer Aniston, which sucks, but he learns his ways. It's one of those kind of movies. A 7 out of 10. He's a lot better ones, but it has some great fucking lines in it too. Number 6 is The Mask, and there's I want to put The Mask a little bit higher, but like all these other ones are kind of still like they're all on the same level. A few of the next ones, so just bear with me. So The Mask, 8 out of 10. So Stanley, this bank owner, was Stanley. Fuck, you think I'd remember his last name? Jesus Christ. Anyways, this bank guy. He's another Jim Carrey guy. He's funny. He's just down on his luck. Ends up finding like it's a comic book. It's based off a comic book movie. Like it's a comic book movie. Wow, it's based off a comic book. The Mask. It's basically like the Mask gives you powers of. Like I think they did like an origin one in the second movie, but anyways, the first one's the best one. 8 out of 10. He gets the mask. He's able to become more like the whole thing with Jim Carrey's character in this thing is like nice guys finish last. So when he's wearing the mask, he's more of a ladies' man. He's more like stud looking. He can swing real sly. He's like invincible, super strength, speed. I don't know. It's just like a really quirky character that they made in the 90s kind of deal. That was like a comic book character that no one really thought of, but it worked. Jim Carrey fucking pulled it off. It was great. I can't even somebody stop me. It was so good. 8 out of 10, a hard 8 out of 10. I've watched The Mask so many times as a child. I could even tell you, like watching on my Opas, I watched it fucking as many times as I could. That was my go-to movie, I think, there. Same with like a lot of other ones, but that was my on par one. Like anytime I got a chance, like that was how I found out Jim Carrey, and I was like fucking 5 or 6 years old when I started watching that one. I loved it. It was so great. 8 out of 10. That was number 6, The Mask. Somebody stop me smoking. So number 5 is The Grinch, and I think The Grinch came out when I was in grade 6 or 7, because when it came out we went to theaters to go see it too with like the whole school, and it was fucked. Like we were like on the 3rd row from the right up front, so it was pretty trippy, and that was like a big deal for me because that was like that was when the theater was like pretty much brand spanking new, I think, or it might have been 2 years old, like with the big Galaxy thing. So it was like a big fucking thing. Like I wasn't with my parents, we were with the school, so we were like, I was like fucking 6, so we were like partnered up with like these fucking like grade 8s and shit, so it was trippy. It was even trippier even more, but it was so fucking cool. Like I didn't know that was Jim Carrey till like a couple of years, till like I finally learned who's what movies, that like movies aren't actually real things and shit like that. You know how the deal is. But he was so fucking cool in that movie. It's so great. I watch that movie every year, and 9 out of 10. His performance was so good in it. Like I heard he had to do like, I forgot how many times he had to do makeup in it, but he had to get like an FBI like agent to train him how to like be chi, like, because he was so fucking bitchy, because he had to be in that chair for 12 hours, I think, every day to become the Grinch. And I think, I can't remember how, he said it in an interview, I think he said over like 60 times, or maybe like 100 times. It was a lot of times he had to just like sit there for 12 hours, so like literally 12-hour day, and then he had to shoot another like 10 hours or some shit. Like that's fucked. Like that's fucked up. Anyways, The Grinch, it's a classic. Like The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. If you don't know what that is, like read a fucking book for once. Like, Jesus Christ, it was so good. You're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're an idiot. That's what I got for that one. So number 4, Yes Man. And that is an 8 out of 10. It was kind of like Jim Carrey was missing for a while, and I think it was like 2013, 14. He just came out of nowhere with this one and a few other, what was it? Who was the girl in it? Wow, I can't even remember who the girl was. I think it was Karen from The Office. I can't remember. But anyways, or maybe it was Zoe from New Girl. Anyways, 8 out of 10. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. It's basically a guy who's always saying no to things. He's just like taking just going to the movie store, getting a movie, and then like his friends call him to go out, and he's just like lying that he's like has a big thing to do, and then they catch him at the movie. So he ends up going. This person that he used to work with is all super quirky now, and like says yes to doing everything, like 'cause it's awesome. Yes, man, yeah. So he ends up like agreeing to go check this guy out, and it kind of like finds this philosophy in it. Bradley Cooper's in it too, that he just feels he should say yes to everything, and that's literally what his thing is. Like, how it starts, he just gives like a homeless person a ride, he lets him borrow his phone, and then he like goes on like, he just starts on this crazy journey with this girl and stuff like that. It's pretty fucking nuts, and I think it lasts for maybe a week and stuff, and then he ends up getting like caught up in shit at the fucking like airport and stuff. It's actually pretty funny. And then he ends up like helping this guy with the suicide, like this guy that's about to jump. He ends up like singing him. Fuck, I can't remember what song. I could sing the whole song. I have it on my phone too. I would understand, yeah, hey, and just how he does it too. It's awesome. Wow, the angry boy, but too insane. I think it's Third Eye Blind. Yeah. So, anyways, Yes Man, number 4, 8 out of 10. It's fucking hilarious. I can't even remember. I think he's like a bank teller in that too, or something like that. Oh, another great scene in that is, I will always remember this part. So he goes to his boss's parties that are like Harry Potter themed. So he goes to the first one, and they're watching like at the end they're leaving, and then like they realize they're watching first Harry Potter. And then like the scene shows who's boss, like, so it's like the end of Harry Potter, and like they're on the train. It's like, it doesn't feel like we're really going home. And then like the boss is mimicking like the whole thing, like, I'm pretty much will do. He's like, we're not going home, not really. And then he's just like, what the fuck? So like, yeah, everyone's clapping, and everyone's like dressed up like Harry Potter characters. Like Jim Carrey and his girlfriend are just dressed up like wizards, and like a bunch of people dressed up like fucking ogres and like Dobby and shit like that. And then he gets up, movie ends, he's like, alright, that's Chamber of Secrets. Okay, so Chamber of Secrets ends, and then we're walking out, and then it ends, he's like, alright guests, next up, Azkaban! I fucking love that part. I will always use that for when I'm watching Harry Potter movies. Thank you. I can't even remember that actor who uses it in that movie. He plays the fucking crazy helicopter guy in the A-Team too. So anyways, number 3, The Truman Show, and I gave that one an 8 out of 10. So if you guys never heard of The Truman Show, I highly recommend checking it out. It's one of his earlier ones too. It's kind of like, it is a comedy, but it's more of like I wouldn't say it's a drama. Would you say it's a drama? Maybe it's comedy, a little bit split of multiple things. So, fuck, I don't know if I want to spoil it. So it's called The Truman Show. So, I don't know if I want to spoil this. It's so good. I loved it. It was great. It's about a kid. It's about a man, like, just learning his roots. He's conquering his fears. Like, he ends up conquering his fears at the end of the show, like, the whole movie. It's great. He escapes his wife, who's crazy as fuck. How else can I say this? He finds that, like, everyone in the town that he lives in is fake, and he needs to get out of it, and it's just, like, it's a hard escape for him to get out of the world. And you find out, like, the one girl he had in high school, he can't get, because somehow she just disappeared one night, and it tells a story of that. And when he's going through his magazines, he takes two magazines every time from the stand, but one's a woman's magazine. and he rips it up, and he's been trying to find, but when it shows the movie that we're at the part where he completes the face of the magazine. So he literally is picked like random parts of girls' lips, their eyes, and like skin and stuff from magazines and clipping them, so he has like his own portrait of like his high school gal that like he still misses and shit. It's trippy as fuck. I highly recommend watching it. It's cool as fuck. It's called The Truman Show. 8 out of 10. So it's called The Truman Show. Just let you that sink in. I don't want to spoil anything. I can't remember if they just go right ahead and show you like what the fuck's the deal with that, his world and shit. But anyways, I don't want to really talk about it. I don't know if I'll spoil it or not, because I can't even remember. Anyways, number 2, Dumb and Dumber. So that's a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I fucking love Dumb and Dumber. Like, it was so funny. Number 2, if you guys think Dumb and Dumber 2 is better than number 1, fuck off. Number 1 was so good. I could probably say so many lines from it. What do you say? Like, package of marbles and some baseball cards and Petey. Harry, I took care of it. Pretty bird, pie on a cracker. Dead, just fucking bird, just dead. It's like there's so many good lines in that movie. I can't even, like, I'm on the spot right now and I can't even hit it. Like, it's so, the movie's great. So it's based, these two best friends are dumb as fuck, and Jim Carey, he's a limousine driver, and he gives this girl, like, he shows that he gives this girl a ride, and she ends up leaving her briefcase. And what we find out is there's these people that, like, the whole part of her briefcase, so she took it with her, but, like, he watches people, like, get up to the fucking thing, because he fell in love with this chick from the first time he saw her, so it was kind of funny, like, he had a big crush on her. So, like, at the end, when he dropped her off at the limousine, like, at the airport, he gives her a hug, and he's just, like, crying. He's like, I like your boys. So, anyways, he sees that she left this briefcase there, and apparently had tons of money in it, and because this guy and this girl was supposed to pick it up, and he ends up slides in and grabs it, and he was trying to run to the airplane to get to her, but the airplane already took off, and he's like running through like the fucking till where you show your ticket and stuff, and like the guy's like, sir, you can't go in there, and he's like, it's okay, I'm a limo driver, and runs and just like fucking falls off. Oh, what's he say? Fell off the annex way again. And so it's Harry and Lloyd. Harry, so that was Lloyd. Jim Carrey's character is Lloyd. Harry is I think he's the dumb one. Yeah, Harry has to be the dumb one. Lloyd's the dumber one. So anyways, Harry, like, works at sorry guys, I had a big brain fart for a second. So he's like a dog cleaner, and he owns like a sheepdog van, and like when we see him, he's like trying to take these like 4 dogs to like to the fucking beauty pageant show, and he ends up like fucking all their fur colors up and shit like that. It's fucking hilarious, like, because he ends up doing like a fast food run and like getting them eat all this fast food, and they get all this shit all over him. It's just fucking hilarious. And he's just like, I trim them and comb them and bathe them, and I stand by my performance. And he opens the door and they're just covered in shit, and he's just like, matter of fact, you might just want to run a comb through them. So that was fucking funny part. Like, another funny part, they gives them money. He's like, this is all the money we got for like the rest of the month probably. He's like, so we just need the essentials. He's like, hey, what do you look like? An idiot? Just has like 2 cases of beer, a big stupid hat, and like one of those paddle things, and he's gonna go buy a porno, but he buys, it's a porno in like a newspaper rack stand. You go put the change in there, and then you go in and close it. So he goes, then he leaves his wall in there, slides it, and the wall gets stuck in there. So he's got to break change. So he asks this little old lady to watch all of his shit so he can go inside and just break change. And he's like, you know what they say? He's like, you know what? People are wrong about what they say about old people. He's like, oh, what they say? Even though slow and dangerous behind the wheel can still serve a purpose. Don't you go down on me now. And then he ends up getting like that old lady just robbed him. He's like, I got robbed by a sweet old lady. I didn't see it coming. It was so funny. What else? Oh, the briefcase scene. And then he's just like, so they're in, starts with an S though. Sam, Swanson, Sally, Samsonite. I was way off. I knew it started with an S though. And then they walk past, they're in that town, they walk past this dude. And he's just like, whoa, look at the butt on that. And he's just like, they're looking at this couple. And like, the, Harry says, whoa, look at the butt on that. And Lloyd's like, yeah, he must work out. And he's like, what the fuck? And it was so fucking funny. They pull into town because they're like freezing. He's like, man, I'm starving. You want to get something to eat? He's like, nah, I swallowed a big June bug before we got into town. I'm really hungry. And it was so good. I'm trying to think if there's any more funny lines. Well, there's no point because she should watch it because it's a 9 out of 10, Dumb and Dumber. I'm just fucking rambling right now with number 2. Number 1, Ace Ventura. Hard 9 out of 10. Number 1 and 2, can't break them up. They were fucking both so good. The first one, he is a pet detective. He's finding what happened out. A pet went missing, he's going to find it. That's what he does. He is a pet detective. He's a whisperer. He speaks to animals. And he's fucking crazy. It's fucking hilarious. He's a really smart detective too. So the first one, they're the Miami Dolphins mascot, who's a dolphin. Oh fuck, what's his name? Oh wow, it starts with an S too. Courtney Cox is in it. Dan Marino's in it. It's great. Oh, what's his name? Wow, it's really bugging me. I can't remember that fucking stupid dolphin. But anyways, the dolphin goes missing, and it's up to Ace Ventura to find out what happens. And it's fucking hilarious because all this shit happens. Murder, like, between all these people, because, like, dolphins, it's like dolphins are in the Super Bowl, they can be in the Super Bowl, blah, blah, and it's been, like, this big, ends up being this big conspiracy, ends up finding out, like, all this crazy shit happened with the older team when the one kicker missed the kick and all that shit. It was fucking crazy. It's fucking hilarious. He has some great scenes in it. Number 2 is pretty much, he's Ace Ventura when nature calls, so he's in, fuck, I can't remember where he goes to. I think he goes to Africa. He's got to be in Africa. I think that's Africa. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, goes to Africa, and then he's got to find the great white bat. And they're both fucking hilarious. I highly recommend checking Ace Ventura Pet Detective and Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. They're fucking hilarious. Like, they're so good. This is pretty much when he's like, when Jim Carrey was like the shit. Like, Ace Ventura came out, and then he got Dumb and Dumber, and then he got like his Batman Forever, the Riddler role, which we don't like to talk about because that wasn't a good movie at all, but his role in that was pretty good. Anyways, Ace Ventura was a fucking funny movie. I can't remember the first time I watched it. I think it was 10. I rented Dan Marino one. And even before that, my best friend showed me When Nature Calls, and it was the cliff scene where he's like, woohoo, there, and I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And he's like, oh yeah, if I were me, he's like, I don't think you can get to the top. It's just a raccoon. Get to the bottom. And he's like, oh yeah, if I were me. And he's like, what did he say? He's like, if I were me and you were me, then I'd be you, then I'd get to the top. Or some fucking weird shit like that. Then no one could stop me. He's fucking like nuts. And he's just literally like the second one he's trying to save a raccoon, and then he loses the raccoon. And he goes in like this to like the Buddhas and shit like that. I don't know. So anyways, I'm just like rambling on right about now. I don't want to like keep talking about movies because it'll just like ruin shit for you probably, and I feel like I don't want to do that. He ruled the 90s. Jim Carrey was fucking awesome. Canadian American actor, pretty much. What was he called? Man on the Moon's another good one. Mentioned Dumb and Dumber 2, mine as well. He's done a bunch of like couple horrors. He has a new TV show. I can't remember what it's called, but he's like a children's TV host, and he's like dealing with like, I don't even know, like psychic problems in his head or some shit like that. I think that it looks pretty trippy. He hasn't really done that much. There's this HBO documentary that they showed of making of Man on the Moon, and he talks about how each character he does, he kind of like it. They like latch onto him, so we never Ace Ventura is always going to be with him, like, part of that character. And he's, I don't know, like, it's just always going to be one of those things, I guess. So, he's fucking great. I love Jim Carrey, as I've probably said multiple times in this thing. Him and Adam Sandler are probably my two favorites. I don't even know. I'd say Jim Carrey is my favorite. Kick-Ass 2 he's in. He plays, who's he play? What's it called? The General, I think. I don't even know what his fucking name is in that. His superhero name is in that. He's in it for maybe 20 minutes, maybe. Spoiler ahead. But he's fucking hilarious. He's like, oh, there's a dog on your balls. It's funny. That's like one line he says in that. Mr. Popper's Penguins. I think that's it. So anyways, I'm pretty much just stalling. I made it to 30 minutes now in this video. That's my top 10 Jim Carrey, guys. I hope you like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks everyone for watching. Later. Remember, if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.